Hi, I'm Dennis Weiss for Eagle Communications. Welcome to our town. It's a special show today because we have a co-host, Sage Tokach, which has been hosting some shows for us on our town. And so we're doing this one together because it's a very special day. We have the folks from Great Plains Theater in the Abilene Public Library this morning. We have Gina Dalton, who's president of the board there. We have Maggie Hoffman, who is the executive director. And you have, we're a tragedy and triumph. We're a little over 24 hours away from the burning of Great Plains Theater, the physical building. However, none of the people were harmed in any way, nor is your vision for the future. Right, Maggie?
Correct. We are going to continue our 20th season, so we will be doing Always Patsy Cline at the Abilene High School Auditorium as scheduled, and from there we're kind of figuring out the best venues to finish our season.
You know, as we worked through the first few hours of that tragedy of the fire, there were emails coming out from different people and different organizations requesting to think about how people could help. So you've already seen significant help from the community. You've seen people come together and help you with phones, desks, chairs, and a place to sit. You'll be over on 3rd Street in the old Family Eye Care building that the Waite family has made available to you. You're over there setting staff up now. So you will be in business on 3rd Street by the end of the day. And
yes.
That shows a community response that probably doesn't surprise us, does it?
No, no, it doesn't. Abilene's always been very supportive, and we appreciate the Abilene community and all the surrounding communities that have contacted us with what they're willing to do for us.
Sage, I invited you today for 2 reasons. One is I appreciate work you've done for us as a host on Eagle, on our town, but you're also a mainstay of the stage for Great Plains Theater and have been since you were little. You're going off to college here at August 17th. Continuing your career and moving forward. I can't imagine it's easy news to see the theater burn down. It wasn't for any of the kids I spoke to. But I know that there's a lot of resiliency in your group of kids and their hope for the future. Could you speak to that as a host and a guest?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think a lot of kids in the community consider GPT as like their second home, but it's definitely not done. We have a PGP meeting this afternoon where we'll get all the youth together and just talk about the theater and what we're going to do from here. And our improv show is actually, we were supposed to have our last improv show tomorrow night at the theater, and it's still going to happen. The Best Medicine Improv Troupe, we're just moving it to the First United Methodist Church tomorrow night at 6:30, and so that's the seniors' last show, so that will be really special. I'm really glad that we still get to have that. So yeah, the theater will definitely still continue.
As we look forward, Maggie, your load is pretty big right now. You have been in the executive director's chair how long?
2 months.
2 months. Welcome to Abilene executive director's job. Yeah. I'm going to pass on a comment I heard that how impressed people have been with your ability to calmly deal with situations while moving forward in a positive direction. And I wanted to say that here where everybody can hear it.
Well, thank you. But I mean, there is a lot of staff support and a lot of board support, which I think oftentimes I think you hear about kind of some tensions between organizations and their boards, but that isn't the case with us. And I think that that is going to be really helpful moving forward because I know that I have the board support behind me, and then we have a great staff that everyone's been willing to just jump right in and get set up again and move forward.
You know, as we came in to set up here early, I always browse the rare book section behind to see what's there and what's checked out and what's not. And sitting directly behind us is Winston Churchill's Tragedy and Triumph, his story of the World War II. The title has always been intriguing to me. We all probably saw an email from Tom Pike early this morning, who was the impetus behind, or the technical impetus behind the C.L. Brown movie, another historical movie about Abilene or a person in Abilene. And he was just saying, sorry to hear bad news, let me know if I can help. I responded back to him in kind, thanks a lot. But from great loss comes great opportunity. and the opportunity is clearly in the hands of the community to move forward here. And as of just a little over 24 hours after the fire, it looks like you're firing on all cylinders to move forward.
Yes.
Okay, Patsy Cline, one of the most fun shows and people have been so looking forward to that show. That show's going forward. Who wants to talk about it? Now, is Sage the best person to talk about Patsy Cline? She's been around it a time or two.
Sage is playing the bass, so
Yeah.
it's true.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you.
Okay.
Describe Patsy Cline for people who were
gosh.
thinking about coming and now want to, and let them know what they're going to see and hear.
I mean, they definitely should still come. We have Hallie Mayo coming back as Patsy. She's been in a lot of productions at GPT, and I mean, the only thing that's changing is the location. The music's going to be the same. The family feel is going to be the same. It's going to be great entertainment.
I think the quality will still be the same. And that's kind of the one thing that we've hammered on, like when moving forward and discussing things, is that the building is gone, but all the people are still there. So the quality of everything and the same hard work is going to be just the same. It's just in a different place.
Yeah, we still have the actors, we still have the talent, we still have the leadership, the directors. We have everything. We just don't have the facility. The facility doesn't make the theater. The people make the theater.
Gina, I'm going to address this one to you. You and I serve on a chamber board together, so we talk about economic development a lot. You're a businesswoman, I'm a businessman, so we have similar interests along those lines. So we look at the Great Plains Theater as an economic opportunity in Abilene. Whether it changes outcomes or not, I view it's a choice, and the choice is on display here today. So we have the executive director, we have the president of the board, and we have a young lady who grew up there. Is there any reason for Abilene to expect less from Great Plains Theater in the future than there was in the past?
No, there's no reason to expect less. I'm visioning more. I'm visioning a bigger experience for everybody. I'm excited. I said a fire is not going to hold us back. We're not going to be defeated. We won't be defeated. So.
I think all of us have had an opportunity to talk to some young people, Sage's peers and younger. There's a lot of young people. My son was in the theater camp that just concluded last week. There were 29 kids there.
Awesome.
One group had Sedgwick tags on their car.
That's awesome.
And they unloaded several kids out of that car, Maggie. Your influence reaching out into other communities appears to be growing, not getting smaller. Can you speak to that?
I mean, I think we have kind of learned that we have more than just a local reach, and I think that that's important, both in kind of what we can provide Abilene in terms of the economic development you were talking about, that we're bringing some of that money into the city, but then also just reaching out to other communities and providing a service that might not be as readily available in their town. Our education program has definitely grown in the last few years, and it's started to reach a greater number of kids, which I think is really important to help kind of build some confidence in some kids that might not be able to find it through other activities. Like, I was not athletic growing up, so the theater was my first place to turn, and I honestly don't think I would have some of the confidence I have now if I hadn't had the theater.
Everything in life is a great training opportunity if the person is willing, the individual's willing, but it's so often prospered if there's somebody able to help, and a place and a leadership and a program. That's the way humans kind of fall into groups. So Great Plains has been a great advocate for young people who want to grow in their skill package, like Sage has, for example, and Brendan, your son, and a lot of other kids in our community have chosen Great Plains as the facility to do that. It's easy to identify that as a building, but it wasn't a building at all. It was a program, and that program is probably healthier this morning than it was a week ago because of people's vision of it. Maggie?
Yeah, and I think that this does bring a lot of opportunities for us to kind of expand on what we already had in place and kind of look at how we can continue to grow and maybe make things better than they were before. I mean, again, the loss of the building was very tragic, and it's very sad and hard to kind of let some of those memories go, but we do have every opportunity now to kind of start over and figure out how we want to do the things we've been trying to accomplish all along.
There was a group of young people sitting on the curb yesterday, running errands, and I saw them sitting there, so I went over and spoke to them. There were just 3 of them sitting there. And I never miss an opportunity if I don't have to. But I spoke to those young people. I said, "How you doing?" And they went into freeze mode because they're doing awful right then, and doing okay. And I went through a short speech really about great tragedy yields great opportunities. And I watched their faces as they started to listen to the old guy, you know, and they really were in grieving mode. But somewhere along that conversation, 2 of them, I saw their eyes really lock on, and they were understanding that it's within their power and control to form the future. And it will take great people doing great things, but it's not beyond their reach at 13, 14, 15, 16 years old to do great things. Sage?
Yeah, I definitely would agree with that. Some of the PGP kids called me yesterday and just wanted to talk about it. And I mean, everybody is now even more motivated to keep PGP going and keep the education program growing and getting bigger and affecting more children.
Gina, one of the things that I think that all of us have seen in the last few days are the schools reaching out, offering help. I saw a young man carrying a Mac laptop with Photoshop on it in because that's a need for you. Your ability to represent your business on the internet, on the web, and just to do what you do is constrained by not having the equipment that went up in the fire. So, but that was supplied yesterday.
It was. We appreciate the school systems. They've all volunteered, from Abilene to Chapman. Anything that we need, desk. The Abilene School District brought in some chairs and some tables. They brought in the Apple computer with Photoshop so we can do our programs and carry on. We've just had a tremendous amount of support. Astor Bank donated computers. They happened to have their IT guys in the basement yesterday and refurbished some computers for us. So it has been truly amazing to me. We're not missing a beat. We're not missing a beat. The office is set up. The computers are in. Eagle Communication has come in and set up our phone lines and our internet service. We have office supplies. Never been so happy to have rubber bands and paper clips before. But yeah, so we're just, it's not stopping. The ball's rolling.
You know, I saw a couple of people yesterday, met with Denise Guy for a little bit, just took the opportunity to talk to her. I see things in people's eyes, Maggie, they're there to help, and they're committed. You know, we've had a lot of programs. Sage has helped host some of them. This show is all about community. Eagle Communications, our community connected. That's our tagline, and that's how we started these programs. You never know what will connect one person to another, or a community organization to another community organization, but it's clear that if community organizations get alignment on issues, that great things can happen. And I think this is going to be an opportunity for our community to have organizations with similar missions and similar clients get alignment and move forward. I think it's a great opportunity for the school systems, for Great Plains Theater, to find alignment based around young people.
We can't all exist individually. We can't, and survive. Everybody has to come together and help each other out, and that's what community is. You know, the schools, the businesses, everybody. And the kids are the ones that benefit, because then they have a nice place to grow up in. They want to come back and be a part of it, and so I think it's great.
Maggie, as we look into the future as an executive director, carrying that load every day, you've talked a little bit about your immediate needs. I want to push you into the future a little bit. As if this fire had never happened, there's a certain set of needs that existed before that still exist today. Great Plains Theater is a nonprofit organization. You largely are in the donation of one kind or another business to keep afloat, whether it's a ticket that's no more than a donation, or whether it's a gifted donation from a large donor or a corporate sponsor of a play. Those are the funding mechanisms by which you put plays and programs together for people. So the fire didn't happen. Tell us what the mission of Great Plains Theater is and how people who want to donate money to Great Plains can help you.
Right. Well, so we mostly just focus on doing fundraising and trying to increase membership donations. That's the best way that we can make our money. Our ticket sales covered less than half of our operating costs before this, and so now we just have to start over and figure out what exactly it is that is going to need extra funding, especially once we start going into the rebuilding process and trying to secure land and build a new theater. So at this point, the best ways to help are just general gifted donations for our rebuilding fund, which can be done online on our website, which is www.greatplainstheater.com. And we've got a nice donate link right in the middle of the screen right now.
Great.
And then they can donate. Donations can be dropped off at our office or mailed, P.O. Box 476 in Abilene. But then also just buying tickets, I think, is really important, especially because a lot of people have said, oh, we have to keep the theater in the community, we have to keep people here, but in order to do that, we still are going to have to sell tickets, and we're going to have to see the community support and not just hear it. And so I think people are thinking, oh, well, I can't donate to the building fund. Buy a ticket and come see a show. I think that support would be just as appreciated as a check would be at this point. So,
you know, I guess it's a point of reference for me, but I know that it's important for businesses to have backup, and your business was in the cloud. So your financial information wasn't lost in the fire. Your ticketing system wasn't lost in the fire. Your website wasn't lost in the fire. All those mechanisms by which you do business are plugged in now to a new location on somebody else's laptop, and things are moving forward. So you have a healthy business organization still alive and well this morning. What you need from the community at this point is not really desk and chairs. Those immediate needs have been, but to know that they can still come to the play. Patsy Cline is roaring along and will be a great time at the Abilene High School auditorium. Their seats and their tickets are still there in the cloud. They may not be exactly the same chair they sat in because that location and that chair is gone, but their seat is there and their ticket is there, and you want to see them walk in the door and enjoy it.
Yes, 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 we do.
Okay, Sage, you have 1 minute left. So tell us the best thing that you've taken into your life from Great Plains Theater and what you'll tell the kids at college about your experiences here in Abilene.
Oh gosh, I don't even know where to start. I mean, I've been hanging out at the theater since I was in like first or second grade. It really is just a community. It's a home for kids from wherever that, I mean, they can have other activities and still come to the theater. They can not have anything else and come to the theater. Everyone's welcome, and we're just all a big family, and we definitely have not lost any of that. And so we will keep continuing to grow, and as the seniors move on to college, more kids are coming up, and I know Brendan and Jordan are going to take over the presidency when I leave, and then there are kids after them, and so it will definitely continue.
Folks, we really appreciate your time today. We encourage your support for the Great Plains Theater and our community. For Our Town, I'm Dennis Weiss, Sage Tokat, Gina Dalton, and Maggie Hoffman wish you a good day.